allergy. Yesterday I wrote a blog about the corrupt system that's called school, and I had a hard time writing it. I felt resistances, and it was hard to just keep it with me, to bring it back to self. It was more like telling about a story that happened, and within that, self is present. But well, normally within a blog you can use the event to just go back to yourself and do something with it. In this case, I hadn't that. I rewrote it even and ended up with the same the same materials, the same discussion, the same facts, the same statements. So I left it for that moment, and I thought maybe I do a vlog about it. Maybe that opens up something, and I can do more writing about that. It was about me and my partner Peter going to the school of my children to collect their reports, grade books, and the fact that I get always angry when I have to attend to school. And it's not only here in Italy, it was the same in Holland. It's almost like school is a synonym or an equivalent for the word angry. Even before I know, of course, that I have this meeting, and a few hours before I get this anxiety within my solar plexus, I feel excitement, and the anger starts already just creeping up. And I made a lot of promises to myself to not become angry, not react to the teachers, because I'm only giving in. So that's how I felt it. I'm only making the reactions they already have stronger. I'm just giving them what they want. But it's not about that. It's about me, of course. It's about me. It's my reaction. It's my feeling of anger, and not understanding why when I enter a school that I'm angry. What am I angry of? So I had to look back and go really, really back to the time that I myself was in kindergarten, and my experience, but it's mostly of what my parents told me later, because I do not really recall it. Well, I have images of it, but I'm not sure if I made up these images around the stories that they told me, or that these images are really the images connected to the real event that happened. But the first days at school at kindergarten, I refused to sit down. I stood beside my little table, and all the other kids were sitting down, and I refused. I didn't feel at ease. I don't know what really was behind it. I think it was more like I didn't want to fit into that system. Well, as a 4-year-old, you cannot say that in that way, but it was like I had to be bent into a system, and I wasn't ready to be bent into any system. And I had found out already, I blogged about that too, that at home, when I didn't want to bend, when I wanted to play along or with a friend or whatever, I had these tantrums, and my parents didn't know what to do with it. And so our family doctor advised them to, when I was into this point of anger and not coming out of it, to just grab me and put my head under a cold water tap, which resulted in a fear for water, but that's another story. So at home, I had experienced already that they could break my will. There wasn't any space to express myself for who I was, even when at that moment it was anger. So I tried it at school. I thought a new area, a new opportunity to see how far I can go and how much room there is for freedom, which is, of course, a big laugh. But at that age, you still have to find that out. And well, there wasn't any space at school, of course. There wasn't, because it's a preparation for getting ready for the system. So I built up over the years this anger, angriness, and the point of being judged, big time, being judged. Always the teachers that are having these opinions about you, which are mostly based on pictures and memories they have of students in general. So it's another point, but that's also feeding the anger inside me. Just being judged and have nothing to say about it because the opinion is already there. So it results in power, yeah, in feeling powerless, which makes me angry and is a result of the powerlessness, because I'm not directing myself within it. I'm only just saying, oh, I don't know, I cannot take responsibility for this. I just leave it here. I become angry. And that's not the way to do it. So, what am I having here now after going through this, and what's on the table, and what am I able to see now? Because I've been hanging up the smoke curtain, and through the smoke, I just didn't see what was going on. I was using the whole corruptness of the school system, which is in fact alive and happening, but I used it to cover up my own not wanting to face points. And one of them was the anger, the powerless of not standing up, to be me, to express myself and be here as me, as life. And the other point was judging, being judged. But being judged is by others is always being judged by me. So I was judging myself for not standing up. Again, simple, when you just take off all the smug. And well, I simply have to write about it, explore it more, and see what comes up. But till so far, and I have to think about what my corrective statement, my corrective application will be within this. Because it simply indicates that I'm reacting to something in a certain situation, a school situation, which is the situation of my children, and I'm reacting on things of me, and I have to, well, I don't have to separate myself from things, but I cannot participate in my past things that I don't want to face, and use that to react to situations in the here and now with my children at school. That's not fair. That's not how you treat others. Unless if, or not unless, but even if they do not perform their jobs, in my opinion, in a good way, it still isn't. Um, it doesn't give me permission to lash out on them because those are my issues. So yeah, back to the drawing table.